Always pray first, because prayer is the place where fear loses its voice and faith begins to rise. Before the noise of the day enters the heart, before worries compete for attention, prayer becomes the light that guides the first steps of the morning. Psalm 27 reminds the soul that light and salvation are already present, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. When the day begins with prayer, strength is renewed from within, courage replaces anxiety, and hope stands firm against every uncertainty. Morning prayer is not just words spoken into the air. It is a decision to trust before understanding, to rest before rushing, and to believe before seeing results. Life often brings challenges that feel overwhelming, moments when confidence shakes and clarity feels distant. Yet prayer anchors the heart, reminding the soul that it is not walking alone through darkness. Light rises in the midst of confusion, not because the problem disappears, but because inner strength is awakened. Psalm 27 speaks to the heart that feels surrounded by fear and doubt. It declares that light shines even when shadows grow long, and that courage grows when trust is placed above fear. Starting the morning with prayer sets the tone for the entire day. Instead of reacting to pressure, the heart responds with peace. Instead of panic, there is patience. Instead of hopelessness, there is quiet assurance that strength will arrive at the right moment. Prayer also reshapes perspective. What once appeared impossible begins to look manageable. What once caused sleepless nights loses its power over the mind. Morning prayer reminds the soul to seek guidance, to wait with expectation, and to move forward with confidence. Hope is no longer based on circumstances, but rooted in faith that light will always overcome darkness. When prayer comes first, decisions become wiser and words become kinder. The heart learns to remain calm during storms and steady during trial. Psalm 27 encourages waiting with courage, trusting that help will arrive, and believing that strength will not run out. Each morning becomes an opportunity to rise with renewed faith, carrying hope into every conversation, every task, and every challenge. Always pray first, because prayer prepares the heart for victory before the battle even begins. It fills the spirit with light, restores strength that was lost, and plants hope deep within the soul. No matter what the day holds, beginning with prayer ensures that courage walks alongside every step, light shines through every shadow, and hope remains unshaken. Always pray first to invite peace into the heart before the day begins, because the way a morning starts often determines the strength and direction of the entire day. When prayer comes before conversations, responsibilities, and distractions, the heart is given space to breathe and settle. Instead of waking up with rush and restlessness, prayer creates a moment of stillness where calm replaces chaos. In that quiet space, the mind slows down, emotions find balance, and fear begins to lose its grip. Peace does not arrive because problems disappear, but because the heart is no longer ruled by them. Praying first in the morning helps shift attention away from worries that usually demand immediate focus. Thoughts about unfinished tasks, uncertain outcomes, and future pressures often rush in as soon as the day begins. Prayer gently interrupts that cycle. It reminds the soul that it does not need to carry every burden at once. By choosing prayer before action, the heart learns to trust instead of panic, to pause instead of react. This intentional beginning sets a peaceful rhythm that continues throughout the day. When peace enters the heart early, faith naturally rises above fear. Fear often grows in silence, feeding on uncertainty and negative expectations. Prayer replaces that silence with hope-filled words and positive belief. It strengthens inner confide and reassures the soul that strength will be provided step by step. Even when answers are not immediate, prayer calms the heart enough to wait with patience and courage. This calmness becomes a shield against anxiety, helping the mind remain steady in difficult moments. Always praying first also helps realign priorities. Instead of letting the world dictate the day's direction, prayer centers the heart on purpose and values. It brings clarity about what truly matters and reduces the pressure to control everything. As peace settles in, reactions become more thoughtful, and decisions are made with greater wisdom. This inner stability prevents small challenges from becoming overwhelming and keeps emotions from swinging between extremes. Starting the day with prayer strengthens emotional resilience. When unexpected problems arise, the heart that has already rested in prayer responds with composure instead of frustration. Peace gained in the morning acts like an anchor, keeping the soul steady when the waves of stress appear. Faith nurtured through prayer continues to grow throughout the day, reminding the heart that it is supported and guided even during uncertainty. Praying first. T is not about escaping responsibilities. It is about preparing the heart to face them with courage and grace. Peace becomes a constant companion, allowing faith to remain stronger than fear. Over time, this practice transforms the way challenges are viewed. Instead of seeing obstacles as threats, the heart begins to see them as moments to grow stronger. By always praying first, each day begins why. Peace, confidence, and a deep sense of inner assurance that carries the soul forward no matter what lies ahead. Prayer brings inner strength that helps face challenges with courage, confidence, and calmness, especially when the weight of daily responsibilities feels heavy. Life often demands more than expected, testing patience, endurance, and emotional balance. When prayer becomes a regular practice, strength is not drawn from circumstances but from within. This inner strength does not eliminate difficulties, but it equips the heart to stand firm without breaking under pressure. Through prayer, the soul is reminded that weakness is not failure, but an invitation to grow stronger. Inner strength developed through prayer allows courage to rise even in uncertain situations. Fear off day. N appears when the future feels unclear or when outcomes seem beyond control. Prayer quiets those fears by grounding the heart in trust rather than doubt. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the ability to move forward despite it. Prayer nurtures that courage by replacing anxious thoughts with steady confidence. With each moment of prayer, the heart learns to face challenges directly instead of avoiding them. Confidence also grows when prayer becomes a source of strength. Many struggles are not only external but deeply internal, involving self-doubt and insecurity. Prayer reshapes the way the soul sees itself, encouraging belief in the ability to endure and overcome. This confidence is not built on pride but on assurance that strength will be renewed when needed. As a result, decisio NS are made with clarity and actions are taken without constant hesitation. Prayer strengthens the inner voice that says, "I can face this." Calmness is another powerful gift that flows from prayer. In stressful situations, emotions can easily spiral into anger, frustration, or panic. Prayer slows the heart rate of the soul, creating emotional balance. It allows the mind to pause, reflect, and respond wisely rather than reacting impulsively. This calmness does not ignore the seriousness of challenges, but provides a peaceful foundation from which solutions can emerge. When the heart remains calm, challenges feel less threatening and more manageable. Prayer also builds endurance over time. Strength gained through prayer is not temporary. It develops resilience that grows with each expiry. Difficult seasons no longer feel like the end, but become part of a journey that shapes character and faith. This endurance allows the soul to remain steady, even when progress feels slow. Prayer teaches patience, reminding the heart that strength is often formed quietly and gradually. Through prayer, courage, confidence, and calmness work together to create a balanced inner life. Challenges A still arise, but they no longer control the heart's direction. Prayer strengthens the spirit to face each day with determination, emotional stability, and quiet bravery. In moments of pressure, the strength gained through prayer becomes evident, guiding actions, calming thoughts, and sustaining the soul through every test. Light enters the mind through prayer, bringing clarity where confusion one once dominated, and guiding decisions with wisdom and understanding. Many people begin their day carrying unanswered questions, unresolved emotions, and mental clutter that makes it difficult to think clearly. Prayer creates a quiet space where the mind can settle and order itself. In that stillness, thoughts become less scattered, and clarity begins to rise. Light does not rush in loudly. Intelli reveals what truly matters and what can be released. Confusion often grows when the mind tries to manage everything at once. Worries about the future, regrets from the past, and pressures of the present can cloud judgment. Prayer interrupts this cycle by inviting focus and calm. As the mind slows down, it becomes easier to see situations as they truly are, rather than as fear presents them. Light brings discernment, allowing the heart to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important. This clarity prevents unnecessary stress and reduces impulsive choices. Guidance received through prayer strengthens decision-making. Instead of acting out of emotion or pressure, prayer encourages thoughtful reflection. It helps the mind weigh options carefully and consider consequences with patience. When light fills the mind, choices are no longer driven by panic or confusion, but by wisdom and understanding. Even in complex situations, prayer helps the heart remain steady, making room for insight to emerge naturally. Prayer also sharpens awareness. Often, answers are already present, but distractions prevent them from being recognized. Through prayer, attention is redirected inward, allowing intuition and inner wisdom to surface. Light reveals hidden motivations, clarifies intentions, and exposes thoughts that may be leading in the wrong direction. This awareness encourages honesty with oneself and leads to healthier choices. As understanding deepens, confidence in decisions grows. Light through prayer does not always provide instant answers, but it provides direction. Times clarity comes as a sense of peace about a choice, rather than a detailed plan. This peace serves as a guiding signal, helping the heart move forward without constant doubt. Prayer teaches patience, allowing the mind to wait for clarity instead of forcing decisions prematurely. Over time, this patience strengthens trust in the process of discernment. When the mind is filled with light, ions change. Instead of overthinking, there is calm consideration. Instead of confusion, there is focus. Prayer reshapes mental habits, encouraging clarity to become a daily experience rather than a rare moment. As light continues to guide thoughts and decisions, the heart learns to move through life with wisdom, confidence, and a clear sense of direction, even when circumstances remain uncertain. Hope is renewed each morning when prayer becomes the foundation, reminding the soul that darkness never has the final word. Many people wake up carrying the weight of yesterday's disappointments, unanswered prayers, and ongoing struggles. Without hope, these burdens feel heavier with each passing day. Prayer gently lifts that weight by shifting focus away from what has gone wrong and toward what still possible. It breathes fresh expectation into the heart, allowing the soul to begin again with renewed strength and belief. Morning prayer has the power to reset the inner world, even when circumstances remain unchanged. Hope rises because perspective changes. Prayer reminds the heart that present difficulties are not permanent, and that struggle does not define the future. This renewed hope does not deny pain or ignore reality. Instead, it offers the courage to face reality without despair. With hope restored, the heart can move forward instead of remaining trapped in fear or discouragement. When prayer becomes the foundation of each day, hope grows deeper and more stable. It is no longer dependent on good news or favorable outcomes. Instead, it becomes rooted in trust that light will eventually break through even the longest night. This kind of hope sustains the soul during waiting seasons, when answers seem delayed and progress feels slow. Prayer strengthens the heart to wait with patience rather than frustration, believing that timing has purpose. Hope renewed through prayer also changes emotional responses. Instead of reacting with bitterness or hopelessness, the hearer learns to respond with resilience. Prayer creates emotional balance, preventing discouragement from taking control. When setbacks occur, hope reminds the soul that failure is not final and that growth often comes through difficulty. This mindset encourages perseverance, allowing the heart to rise again after every fall. Prayer helps the soul see beyond the present moment. Darkness often feels overwhelming because it narrows vision, making it difficult to imagine a better future. Prayer expands that vision, helping the heart look forward with expectation. Hope opens the mind to new possibilities, new paths, and new beginnings. Even when the way forward is unclear, prayer reassures the soul that movement is still possible and that light is already forming beyond what can be seen. As hope is renewed each morning, strength is restored for the journey ahead. Prayer becomes a daily reminder that the story is still unfolding and that today is not the end. With hope firmly established, the heart faces challenges with quiet confidence and steady faith. Darkness may appear, but it no longer controls the direction of the soul, because hope continues to rise with every new day. Prayer changes perspective, helping the heart respond with patience and trust instead of worry and stress. Many struggles feel overwhelming not because of their size, but because of the way they are viewed. When the mind focuses only on pressure, uncertainty grows stronger and peace fades quickly. Prayer gently lifts the heart above immediate fear and allows it to see situations from a wider and calmer viewpoint. This shift in perspective does not ignore problems, but it places them in proper proportion, reducing their power over emotions. Worry often comes from trying to control outcomes that are beyond reach. The mind replays worst-case scenarios, creating stress long before anything actually happens. Prayer interrupts this cycle by teaching the heart to release control and rest in trust. Through prayer, the soul learns that it does not have to carry every burden alone. This release brings relief, allowing patience to replace restlessness and calm to replace anxiety. Trust grows as the heart learns to let go of constant mental strain. When perspective changes through prayer, reactions also change. Instead of responding quickly with frustration or fear, the heart learns to pause and respond with wisdom. Prayer creates emotional space, giving time to think clearly before speaking or acting. This patience helps prevent unnecessary conflict and regret. As trust deepens, the need to rush decisions fades, making room for thoughtful and balanced responses, even in stressful situations. Prayer also reshapes expectations. Stress often arises when reality does not match personal plans or timelines. Prayer helps the heart accept delays without losing hope. It encourages understanding that growth and progress often take time. This acceptance builds patience, allowing the soul to remain steady during waiting periods. Instead of viewing delays as failures, prayer helps the heart see them as preparation for something greater. Trust, developed through prayer, strengthens emotional resilience. When challenges persist, the heart does not collapse under pressure. Instead, it remains grounded, knowing that difficulty does not mean abandonment or defeat. This trust provides comfort during uncertain moments, reminding the soul that peace is still possible, even when answers are unclear. With each prayer, confidence grows that outcomes will unfold in the right time. As perspective continues to shift, stress loses its hold. Prayer trains the mind to focus on what can be controlled, attitude, response, and faith, rather than on uncontrollable outcomes. This focus brings freedom from constant worry. Over time, patience and trust become natural responses, guiding the heart through life's challenges with stability, calm, and inner strength. Beginning the day with prayer builds consistency and faith, creating stability, endurance, and spiritual growth over time. Consistency is often what separates temporary inspiration from lasting transformation. When prayer becomes a daily habit, rather than an occasional response to difficulty, it forms a strong inner foundation. Each morning prayer may seem simple, but together they shape the heart, strengthening belief and deepening trust. Through steady practice, this regular connection nurtures faith in a quiet yet powerful way. Daily prayer establishes stability in an ever-changing world. Life is filled with unexpected changes, emotional ups and downs, and shifting circumstances. When prayer is consistent, it becomes a steady point that does not move with external conditions. This stability helps the heart remain grounded even when situations feel uncertain. Instead of being shaken by every challenge, the soul finds balance and calm through a familiar rhythm of prayer that brings reassurance and peace. Endurance grows naturally through consistent prayer. Difficult seasons often require patience and perseverance, especially when progress feels slow. Prayer strengthens the heart to keep going without losing hope. It reminds the soul that growth often happens gradually, and that perseverance is part of the journey. With each day of prayer, inner strength increases, allowing the heart to withstand pressure without becoming discouraged. Endurance formed this way is gentle yet resilient. Spiritual growth is another result of beginning each day with prayer. Growth does not happen overnight. It unfolds through small, faithful steps taken daily. Prayer opens the heart to reflection, learning, and self-awareness. Over time, attitudes begin to change, compassion deepens, and understanding expands. This growth influences thoughts, words, and actions, shaping character in meaningful ways. Consistent prayer encourages the soul to grow beyond old limitations and unhealthy patterns. Prayer also creates discipline that supports long-term faithfulness. When the day begins with prayer, priorities become clearer, and distractions lose their dominance. This discipline strengthens commitment, making faith a living part of everyday life rather than a separate activity. Through consistency, prayer becomes a natural response to both joy and challenge, reinforcing trust and dependence throughout all seasons. As consistency continues, stability, endurance, and growth become evident. Faith matures, reactions become calmer, and confidence strengthens from within. Beginning the day with prayer becomes more than a habit. It becomes a lifestyle that supports the soul through every stage of life, nurturing lasting strength and steady spiritual progress.